What's up guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut this senator outfit step by step. It's actually a long kaftan, but the difference is that it has an opening in the front. You can see here, instead of having to do like a turn up in the front area, there's just a slit open all the way down to the M area. So I'll be taking you through the process of cutting this, and also there's a video on how to cut this type of piping that you can see right here. You can see the piping, this type of piping I'll be showing you on another video. So this piping is going to have a button, a pin button on the edge, you can see, and it's very wide than the normal piping that we usually do. So there's a technique for this. Also, the sleeve has a turn up on the sleeve, and I'll be showing you how to actually achieve this front panel step by step. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. So the first thing I'm going to be doing here is to mark my horizontal and my vertical line. First and foremost, you can see here I'm just going to connect this part together. You can see that, and also I'm going to make a straight line at this place as well, just a straight line. So after this line is where we are going to mark all our measurements. So pay good attention to this part. Depending on the length, that's what will determine how long you mark this first line. So after, the first thing we're going to do now is, the opening on that slit, which is going to be in the chest, that opening straight down. I'm going to make that allowance at 1/4 inch. 1/4 of an inch. That's 1.1 inch. I'm going to mark that here. That's 1/4. You can see that. I'm going to mark it here as well. 1/4 of an inch. It's more of like I'm cutting a shirt, but this one does not have an overlap. It's inside. So here also I'm going to mark 1/4 of an inch as well. 1/4 of an inch as well here. You can see that. 1/4. So after that, I'm going to connect it. So after this, that's when I'm going to get my full body measurements. So I'm just going to connect this place together. You can see that. I'll connect that place together. So now my chest measurement is actually 44 inches, right? 44 inches. So this is the chest. This is the front panel itself. So what I'm measuring now is the chest. And this whole area, after that first marking, that's when we're going to get our front chest measurement. That's our front panel. So I need you to pay attention. That's why I'm writing it down. So now my chest is actually a total of 44 inches. Sorry, I'm holding 42 here, but it's actually 44 inches. So in order to get the chest measurement, that will be 44 divided by 4. Because I already fold this fabric in two. So this chest that I'm cutting is both sides, which is 44 divided by 4. And I'm also going to cut the back also, which is 2 sides as well. Don't forget that. So 44 divided by 4 is going to give me a total of 11 inches. So to that 11 inches, I'm going to be adding 2 inches for my allowance on the side. The side allowance, which is going to be 2 inches. You get that? So that will be 11 plus 2. That will give me 13. So the 13 is going to be after our first 1/4 of an inch that we are folding inside for the chest opening. Don't forget that. So I'm marking 13 inches right here. You can see that. And also this down part, I'm going to mark 13 inches. You see that? I'll mark 13 inches at this place as well. You see that? So once I have that, I'm going to simply connect it together. That is my entire body circumference. That's my entire chest circumference. So inside of this box now is where we are going to do all of our shaping and everything. All of the shapings that we need to do. That will be inside of this body. So you can see that I already fold the fabric together. So this front panel that I'm cutting, this can be the left and right side of the front panel. So this is the 2 side that I'm cutting together. You see that? So now the length of the shirt itself, the length of the shirt is going to be at a total of 45 inches. A total of 45 inches. So I'm going to also mark my 45 inches here. So from here, 45 inches. I'm going to add an extra 1 inch to that 45 inches because I'm going to still slant my shoulder. Don't forget that. I'm going to still slant my shoulder, and I'm also still going to join the shoulder. So that's like half of an inch plus the slanting, another half of an inch. So eventually we are going to have our 45 inches in total. So this place I'm going to connect it so that it's going to be longer to my body length, the full length, which is the 46 inches. So once I get that, you can see I will still bring down my 1/4 inch all the way down, 1/4. I will still take it all the way to the 45 inches length, 1/4 inch here, and also 1/4 inch down. So I'm going to connect that part together as well. You can see that I'll connect that part together. Once I connect that part together, so my chest frame, which is 13 inches, I'm also going to mark it all the way down as well. 13 inches. I'll mark that down, and I'm also going to connect it together. So once I do that, now I'm going to take my full length measurement, which is 46 inches. It's supposed to be 45, and I'm adding an extra 1 inch for the allowance, which will make it a total of 46 inches. So I'm going to mark it down here. You can see that. I'll mark it down here. And I'll also mark it at this side as well, so that I can connect it together. 46 inches. So after marking it, I'll simply connect that part together. So that's my full length. You see what I have here. So after getting my full length, let me show you that down part very well. Let me turn the camera sideways so you can see it clearly. All right. So this is the full frame. So after getting my full length, the next thing is to cut out our neck, our shoulder, and all of the things we need to cut out. So first and foremost, I'm going to slant my shoulder from the edge right here. I'm going to slant it by 4 inches. You see that? I'll slant it by 4 inches. So from that corner that I slant, I'm going to connect it together. So you see that I'm cutting this separately. I can use my previous method of cutting, but a lot of people are like, this method is another method. And I know this is the kind of method that most of your bosses, the people that train you, this is the method they usually use. So I actually understand the method, and the people that have also adopted my method can simply follow up with this method. So I'm going to use the same method so you guys can understand how it works. So here, I'm marking my neckline lower by 2.5 inches. Don't forget, and I'm going to, the depth is going to be 2.5 inches and the wideness is going to be 2 inches, right? Here, I'm marking 2 inches. You see that? That's for my neck. So I'm going to connect that place together. See what I have? The reason why the depth is 2.5 inches is because the overlap, which is going to be the overlap of the shoulder, is going to be 2 inches, right? So 2 inches plus 2.5, that's 4.5 inches. That's if you're using the previous method that I usually use. So our shoulder here is 10 inches, which I'm using 20 here. 10 inches, that's for my shoulder. Also now, you know our overlap is 2 inches. So I'm going to take the 2 inches upward here. You see that? That's why I marked 2 inches upward, because the overlap is 2 inches. So from that 2 inches now, our shoulder divided by 2 is going to give us our armhole measurement. You're getting? So our shoulder divided by 2, which is 10 inches, is going to give us our armhole. So from that 2 inches upward that I took, I'm going to mark my 10 inches right here. You see that? That's to get the armhole curve. So from that mark that I did right now, you see? So from the shoulder slant to that particular mark is supposed to be 8 inches, right? 8 inches. So from that armhole that we did, I'm going to simply run my armhole here. Just place your armhole curve, just like so. And simply connect it together. See what I have? That is the entire structuring of the front panel, you see? So after getting this, from inside that box now, we can take our chest measurements, our allowance measure, all the allowance, sewing allowance and everything. We can take it from inside of the box. But here the clothes is going to be straight, all the way straight down. I'm not taking any, but if you to take that, you know our chest is actually 44. So if you were to take that, that's 44 divided by 4, which will give us 11 inches, right? I'm going to mark 11 inches here. That is if assuming I want to take my shape. but this clothes is just going to be straight. It's not going to have shape. From the shoulder allowance, I'm going to get my half length measurement, which is 17 inches, right? That is for the tummy. You can see that's why I'm writing it down. For the tummy at that area, you know my chest is 11, so if I'm to get my tummy measurement, that's going to be 10 inches, which is going to be 40. So I'm going to mark 10 inches here. You see that? That's if you're using this box method. I'm going to mark my 10 inches here. So from that 10 inches now, I'm going to connect these two together from the chest to the tummy all the way to the hips. That's if you're using that method. But this outfit is just going to be straight all the way down. It's just going to be straight, right? So if it's going to be straight, I'm not going to like be shaping all of that part out. So all I'm going to do now is to simply cut it out. It's as simple as A, B, C. This is the entire cutting of the marking of the front panel if you're cutting it separately. So from here, I'm going to cut the little bits upward. You can see that I'm not cutting the neck directly. You can see that. So if I'm to like fold the stitch down, I will have something to shape out with the neck. You see that? So I'm going to cut the shoulder slant from here. You can see I'm just going to speed it up. Cut the shoulder slant. You can see that I did not cut the shape. I'm going to cut this edge also. You can see. So here, I'm just going to cut this plate. So I'm going to cut out the neck here as well. So as you can see, while I'm cutting the neck out, I did not cut out that overlap in the front. I'm just going to cut around it. So once I cut around that overlap, once I'm stitching, after gumming and after stitching, I'm going to trim it together with the neck area so that there won't be any lapses on the edge. So after that, I'm going to simply cut the entire front out. You can see that it's basically very, very simple. So this is the whole process of cutting out your front panel. It's as simple as ABC. So now we're going to use that same front panel to cut out our back panel. So in order to cut out the back panel, you have to like turn your fabric to this other side. So you can just turn it this side. You see that? You know, the back area has to be closed. There's no opening at the back area. That's why that our opening in the middle has to be facing the back area, just like so. You see here? So that one quarter inch that we added to the front panel is going to be outside of the fabric. You can see what I did here. Just place it outside of the fabric. You know, that's going to be inside. That's not part of our measurement. So while you're doing this, this must not be part of your measurement. That's to fall off. That's to like fall out. You see what I did there? That's to fall out. So for you to cut the back panel now, just layer the fabric, make sure it's relaxed, make sure it's accurate and it's on the back panel. So for you to cut the back panel now, the most important thing for you, make sure that place is a closed part. You're placing the front panel in the closed part. The neck has to be on the closed part of the fabric, right? So now, our shoulder overlap is going to be 4 inches, right? So you have to leave a space of 4 inches at the top of the back panel, right? So I'm going to drag the fabric down a little bit. You see that? And from the front panel, I'm going to mark 4 inches upward. You can see that. So here, I'm going to mark 4 inches. You can see. And here as well, I'm going to mark 4 inches. You see that? Just like so. So after marking that 4 inches, I'm going to simply connect that part together. So we have our second shoulder slant, which is for the back panel, you see? And I will simply cut it out. You can see that. This is the most popular method of cutting a shirt or a senator outfit. This is the most popular method. I actually do not use this method mostly. It's not that difficult, but I actually mostly don't use it. So once you have that, let me just cut this part out totally. So I want to show you guys something. If you usually use the previous method that I use, you're going to notice that we have our 4 inches. We can simply overlap that 4 inches like so, which is if you're using our 4-bar method, and simply cut out our neck. So we are cutting out 2 inches. What we are overlapping here is 2 inches. So if we are to cut, we're going to cut 2 inches on our neck area. So if I bring this upward like this, I can simply use that same shape to cut out that back panel. It's very, very simple. The same way, just like you're cutting it round. The same way you're going to cut out that back panel. So here, if I measure 4 inches, the same thing. I measure 4 inches here, the same thing. I can simply still turn up, put the overlap here, and still cut out my back neck area. You see that? I can simply still cut that part out as well, which is going to be 2 inches eventually. You can see, which is going to be 2 inches as well. You see that? 2 inches here. See that? And I'm just going to cut it all the way around to the neck. However, the same format actually work on this as well. I can adjust it together, take a scissors, and simply cut it out. Likewise, you see here? See what I'm doing? I just cut it out like so. But the issue with cutting it out this way is that if you align the two together, it's not going to be balanced. You can see, let me drag this backward. Let me measure my 4.5 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches here. You can see 4 inches here. So if I align this together, the back panel is going to overlap, you can see. But that place is not going to be balanced. You can see that area. You can see that part. It's not going to be ever balanced. That's why I mostly cut them out together. That's why I usually cut them out together. You can see that corner. You can see that the back panel is actually overlapping the neck area here. You can see that place. So that's why I mostly cut them out together in order to have a straight and accurate neckline. It's as simple as A, B, C. So all you have to do now is to basically cut it out together. Cut it out together here. Let me still align this. Make sure it's 4 inches. If you have your iron there, you can use your iron to make it straight. Just place it both, just like so. Make sure you have your 2.5 inches. And I'm going to simply trim it out together with the neck. You can see that. You can see that that's the entire neck that I just cut out like so. It's basically very, very simple. So when it comes to the shoulder as well, you can do the same thing on the shoulder. Just measure your shoulder divided by 2. You can connect this part together like so. You see here? Connect it together. So while you're cutting the back panel, it's going to be inside, a little bit inward. Maybe like half of an inch inward. And I'm going to simply cut it out like so. You can see it's very, very simple. So I already have my back panel and my front panel cut out together like so. See that? So the next thing is to simply trim the other side and bring out both the front and the back panel. And you can go ahead and start your sewing step by step. Very, very simple to achieve this. If you follow this step by step, let me see your results. You can put it on our Telegram page, or you can share it to me on our WhatsApp groups. As simple as that. So here, remember I told you guys that I'm cutting this. It's just going to be a straight kaftan. There won't be a shape or a curve on the side. Just a straight kaftan all the way down. So you can see what I'm cutting cutting just a straight kaftan. If you like the video and you'd like to join my professional class, a link will be below this video to join, which is www.sewingworkshop.com.ng or togfashionacademy.com.ng, either of the two, to enroll in my classes, professional or advanced or beginners class. That will be about it on this tutorial. If you like it, do give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe to the channel. I'll go ahead and do the sewing aspects now, and I will be sharing more video on this channel. If you're yet to subscribe, do subscribe so you can get notification when I upload newer video. That will be about it, and I will see you on the next one. Do have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.